answer.
Alright, let's make this a little bit easier. Imperialism was a bunch of countries competing. What were those Europeans competing for? I should see everyone's hands up. What were those countries competing for? Khalil?
Natural resources.
Natural resources. And how do you get natural resources, Khalil? What do you have to establish?
That take control of another country.
And establish?
Congress.
Great job. So, write this. Imperialism is rivalries between nations is going to lead to a competition to establish the most colonies. As Khalil was saying, that's control of natural resources. If you have colonies, you'll get money, respect, power, control. All of those things were very desirable to the West. Third factor that's going to lead to World War I is militarism, and fourth is going to be alliances. The next few slides, we're going to talk about militarism and the alliances leading up to World War I. Wanted to introduce them now. We're going to talk about them in the next few slides. You will have to remember these 4 factors for the quiz on Friday. If you need help, NEMA, nationalism, imperialism, militarism, alliances.
Is there definitions for them too?
Yes, for militarism and alliances, we're going to get to those definitions in the next few
I
slides.
know 1, 2, and 4. I don't know military.
All right. Well, can anyone have a guess or a prediction? What do you think militarism is? Samir, let's hear your prediction.
Militarism is probably strategies or ideas based on the military, or like they want to just take over everything.
Could be.
Well, believe
I think you're on the right track.
I think it's how advanced the military is.
I think you guys, both of you are on the right track. So what is the official definition of militarism? Militarism is just the glorification of armed strength. So thinking that your military, your armed forces are not only glorious, but the most important thing that your country has to offer is militarism. Under militarism, there is a belief that goals can only be achieved through military force. So if you want a colony, you get a colony through military force. If you're having trouble with a European neighbor, you're going to settle that rivalry or that competition via military force. So it is this idea that the military is not only strong, but it's the most powerful thing. During the early 19th century, before World War I, we're going to see that European powers are strengthening and increasing their armies. Even though they're at a time of peace, they're going to strengthen and increase their standing armies. If one nation is going to mobilize their army, that means prepare their army for war. Other countries are going to mobilize their armies in response to that. So if France builds up a huge Germany is going to build up a huge army in response. So you can see that competition, that need for a strong military. Using my popsicle sticks. Here. Okay, John. Militarism is the belief that goals can only be achieved through what, John? Good. Now let's do stop and jot number 1. Brianna, how might countries with strong nationalism protect themselves against militaristic countries? So if one country wants to protect itself from a country that is having a very, very strong military, how do you think that other country is going to respond to that, Brianna?
Wait, nationalism is like the fight for like what you believe in your country, that you love your country.
Yeah. Let me put this a different way. So if Germany was expanding their army, how would a nationalist, like French country feel? What would the French country do in response?
Oh, they would feel like they would like to try to attack them or something, so they would try to build theirs up to or higher their standards from Germany.
Good. So everyone that should be writing that for number 1, what Brianna said. They would increase their army in response to what Germany did. So if one country was mobilizing their army, one country was having a very strong military, the other country would also increase their army response. So many calls today. Hello? So we talked about nationalism, as Brianna said. It's that love for one's country, that feeling of pride and identifying with a nation. We talked about imperialism last week, a little bit today, establishing colonies or competing, a race to see who can get the most. And militarism is this glorification of your military, having a big army. Everyone is increasing the size and power of their military. Finally, alliances. There were two different alliances pre-World War I. So leading up to World War I, we're going to see that Europe is going to divide itself between two alliances. The first alliance is the Triple Alliance, otherwise known as the Central Powers. So Germany is going to be in charge, the leader of the Triple Alliance or the Central Powers. Germany's foreign policy is to secure the borders from the south and to the east. If Germany wants to secure its southern and eastern borders, Germany is going to become allies with those in the south and those to the east. Kiera, what two countries are south of Austria, what two countries are south of Germany?
South of Germany.
What countries are south of Germany?
Italy and Austria.
Austria. What's this word? Can you read it? Hungary. It's spelled different, but it's Hungary. So Germany is going to become allies with the southern countries, that's Austria, Hungary, and Italy. What country is to the east of Germany?
France.
That's west. What country is to the east?
Russia.
Russia, good. So Germany is going to become allies with Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Russia. Otto von Bismarck is going to ally. He's going to be the one in charge of Germany. He's the German chancellor. And he's going to be the one that allies Germany with Austria, Hungary, Russia, and Italy. We already have learned about Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck hosted the Berlin Conference. Who can raise their hand and tell us what happened at that Berlin Conference? What happened at that Berlin Conference? Everyone should have their hand raised. Dejane? Split Africa between whom?
All the
Good. So, Russia is going to leave the alliance, and this is why. All of these countries right here form the Balkans. It's the Balkan region, it forms the Balkan states. So all of these countries form the Balkans. As you can see, the Balkans are directly south of Austria-Hungary. If we looked at this map, what color would those Balkans be? Yes, Khalil is pointing to it. You see it's the white. So this right here are the Balkans. The Balkans play a big role in World War I. So Russia is going to leave this triple alliance because Austria-Hungary wants control of the Balkans, Russia wants control of the Balkans. Since both Austria-Hungary and Russia want control of the Balkans, they're going to be having a fight over who gets the Balkans. So they can no longer be in an alliance since they're fighting over the Balkans, and Russia is going to leave that alliance and no longer be a part of it.
And that's when the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union's very close after, yeah. Nikira, can you tell us why Russia leaves the Triple Alliance?
They were fighting over the plastic the Balkans.
Perfect. All right, our final slide, our final alliance. This alliance is going to be led by France, the Triple Entente.
It was in the same year.
It is the same year, 1914. The Triple Entente, otherwise known as the Allied Powers. It's going to be led by France, and the first country that France is going to ally itself with is Russia. So France is going to help Russia out. Russia's going to be in a financial crisis. They really need help. France is going to bail Russia out of that financial crisis. They win Russia's alliance and allegiance, so France and Russia are now in an alliance. Shortly afterwards, England is going to join that alliance as well. England joins the alliance because they're concerned. Germany is becoming increasingly militaristic. Their military forces are being strengthened and enlarging, especially in the African colonies. And this is a big threat to England. So because England was so threatened by Germany's army in Africa, they're going to join an alliance with France and Russia against Germany. Angela, on this map, France, England, and Russia make up the Triple Alliance. What color are the Central Powers? They make up the Triple Entente or the Allied Powers. What color is the Central Powers on this map? Good. And then what three countries make up the Central Powers? Good. Samir, why does England join the alliance?
Concerned about German militarism.
In where?
African colonies.
In a few seconds. Let me explain it.
We did the second Stop and Shop.
Let's do the second Stop and Shop now. Brianna,
Hitler
what is
was
this?
1944, right?
World War what?
World War II.
World War II is 1929 to 1945. But we're learning World War I, which is 1914 to 1918. Brianna, what is the second Stop and Shop? Can you read the question?
What would happen if France and Germany entering war?
Good question, Brianna. What would happen if France and Germany went to war? Diamond, can you tell us what would happen if France and Germany went to war? Let's put this a different way. Diamond, you and David are an alliance. Diamond, you and Dejane are in a fight. What's David going to do?
Oh.
Fight who? Good, because he has your back. You guys are an alliance. So Diamond, what happens if France and Germany go to war? Yes, Italy and Austria would help whom? And then who would help France?
Russia and England.
So Dejane has some allies too. Good. Alright, guided practice. On the bottom of your worksheet you have all of those shapes, circles, triangles, squares. I'm going to give you guys, I'll assign you one of these 4 factors. In the circle, you're going to define the factor, and in the triangle, you're going to tell us how it led to war. So, militarism, what is it? How did militarism lead to war? Alliances, what were the 2 alliances? How did alliances lead to war? Diamond got that question, right? Already. Nationalism, what's nationalism? How did it lead to war? What's another word for rivalries? And we're missing one.
Enemy.
Rivalries? Well, yes, I'm sorry, but what would be like, we have nationalism, militarism, alliances. What else could this be? What's that I that we're missing?
Imperialism.
Good. So that's just imperialism or rivalries. When you are done finishing it on your worksheet, one person from your group will write it on the board.
I will put that in.
Yes, you'll work with them. So you 3 are going to be alliances. So there's 2 different alliances. Make sure you have that. You 2 are going to be militarism. You 2 are going to be nationalism. And you 3, only one left, rivalries. So you should have your worksheets filled out in 3 minutes. You should start writing on the board in 3 minutes.
y'all write both of them in the circle?
If your alliances, yeah, so like just divide the circle like this in half. One alliance up here, second alliance down there. Because I really only seen it like I'm sorry about that. So to make up for knowledge right on the board, how about that? Which one are you guys? Raspberries? Nationalism, what is nationalism? That would go with Germany. What's nationalism?
I mean,
Their definition and then how did militarism lead to war? In a minute and a half, someone from your group should be writing on the board. You guys are imperialism, right? So the definition right here. If you were competing over the same thing, how could that be through war?
Because when two countries go to war,
That could be
they're
an
all like,
example, right? They're both competing over the same thing. So tell me what it is. Usually we give an example.
Germany, France, and Italy fight.
why you cutting them off?
Germany go there.
Everybody gonna ride. That's
All right, someone from your group should be writing on the board. I guess will be you, Nicara. And then one of you. Have definition. How does a feeling of pride or belonging, could that lead to war? If you belong to your family and your family's in trouble, you're gonna wanna do what? Help, protect, defend your family. So how could that lead to war? You're gonna wanna have to defend, protect, or help your nation. And what nation is that? David, I heard for you. Yes. Good, Nicara. I like your how it leads to war. That's good. Rivalries and nationalism. I think it's your time. Thank you, John. And for those of you who are not writing on the board, you should be writing their responses on your worksheet. Brianna, hers looks really good. Nakira did a flawless job in the pink.
I think you're a hater. That's the alliances.
Alliances, yep. I love your triangle answer. So good job, group, on the triangle answer. Good job, Anna.
It's out. I can throw it away. I'll throw it away.
Nationalism is done. Make sure you have alliances, militarism, and nationalism on your sheet.
I said excuse me. Everybody does it right. I believe I have any. Everybody looks so confused. That's what it is.
Nakira, actually, Kiera, what is the definition of militarism?
Wait a minute. Oh, that's what's going on. You know that?
It was making me.
Yes, Jen? Yes, I do. It's also on your worksheet in the circle and on the board. What's the definition of militarism?
Glorification of armed
Thank you. And so how does the glorification of armed strength, aka militarism, lead to war? When an army grows, another country may feel threatened. I think that's a perfect definition of how it could lead to war. Nationalism. Who is this? This was John, right? Angela, can you tell us the definition of nationalism? Good. And how can that lead to war? You're going to want to protect and help your nation. Great. Alliances. Khalil, who was in the Triple Alliance?
Germany, Italy, and Australia, and Hungary.
Austria-Hungary. And Samir, who was in the Allied powers?
France, England, and Russia.
Good. And then, as Brianna stated here, if two countries went to war, allies would help. And she gave an example, really good example. Finally, rivalries, otherwise you can put imperialism. Simon, can you read this definition for us, please? Good. And then, this is a example. Basically, you're competing or trying to get control of this of the same thing. So here, David gave an example: the rivalry between Austria, Hungary, and Russia over the Balkans. They were competing over the same thing. You have actually 45 seconds to finish writing these, and I'm going to erase the board in 45 seconds.
And what's the name?
Oh, we can do it again. She didn't do it.
What? on the board you're going to use to refer to your map on your worksheet. You see the directions on the bottom. 1A, give your map a name. What are you going to label your map on the top? What does it say to label it?
World War I, 1914, 19.
World War I, 1914 to 1918. So that's the title that you put on top of your map. 1B, it says outline Germany and write the G in Germany. So you see Germany here on the board. You find it where it says it on your map. Where it would be on your map? You're going to outline it in a pen or a pencil, and then you just put a G there. So that's 1A and 1B. So do 1C and then 2A, B, C. And then for 3A, B, C, you'll need a colored pencil, so I'll pass out the colored pencil.